Hello there. Once again, this is Anton from Anton Bay. Thank you for taking a few minutes to stop by the collection room and check out some stuff with me. Now, if you've watched some of my older videos, a lot of times I complain about Barry Windsor Smith. I don't like Barry Windsor Smith. I don't like his art. I think it's very creepy. And the first exposure I ever had to it was this book, Rune. This is a Malibu Ultraverse title. And it was always Barry Windsor Smith's Rune. Check it out, it's the best. And I really didn't think it was. I kept looking at it and I was like, this art is ghastly and lumpy and icky. I really wasn't a fan of it. But everybody always kind of looks like this. I don't know. I mean, I know there's a lot of Barry Windsor Smith fans out there, and I'm not trying to like rap on anybody, but it is not for me. It is definitely not. It is a weird, kind of creepy looking look. I noticed that a lot of Valiant kind of looks this way, whether it's his work or not. It is something that they kind of just look like. They just borrow from his style, it seems like. But he tends to draw very just kind of ghastly looking features and figures, and I mean, look at this face. So whenever people talk about like, oh, there's artists I really don't like, or gosh, he doesn't know how to do this, and they'll bag on like Liefeld a lot. I've bagged on Liefeld some too, although I think his style I appreciate it. It's kind of a very exaggerated. This is just not in my wheelhouse. Just look at it. Some stuff that's really odd looking I like Sam Keith's work. It's very strange art, but it's strange in a way that I really like. And what can I say? Just Barry stuff just is not my bag. That said, this is Rune, and even though I'm trying to like get a complete everything that the Ultraverse ever put out, I'm trying to be like a little bit of a completist there, and I've got most of it and have always been a big fan of the Ultraverse. Rune was just one of those books it was a shorter run. There wasn't a lot of it. I think it only ran 9 issues, and I can't remember if it survived Black September. I think it did. I don't think I have any of those, like the newer Rune comics. Probably have one of the Black September issues, but that would be about it. As far as like what the deal is with Rune, I don't know exactly what the deal is with him. I know he's kind of an ultra, and he's also kind of a vampire. And I don't really know the significance of the runes that he wears around his neck, but it is what it is. Now, I don't think Barry does the entire series. I don't think he writes all the way through it. Hi, Diana. This one is a big, chunky one. This has got a double-sized thing in the back, which Ultraverse did love to make their flip books. So, yeah, if you are a Barry Windsor Smith fan, definitely a series you'd check out. I think it's probably some of his more signature style of work. I know he did a lot of stuff in, what was it? Marvel Comics Presents. But, like I said, this is the first exposure I ever had to him, so that's where most of my opinion stuck. I really just wanted to flip through these. It is a short Ultra series, 9 issues. Like I said, but if you haven't seen it or haven't seen all 9, then you should probably check it out. And you got this little story in the back. Punkers fighting with cowboys, and then they get abducted by aliens. And I think go on to be one of the less successful books. But it is what it is. And everything falls down. So another thing, that issue is 64 issues double-sided. This one is pretty decent. And this looks like it's like the series is just starting over again. But I noticed that towards the end of the series, the last couple issues are extremely thin. Like very, very small. And I'm sorry, pages like this just look awful. And if I remember right, I know I read through this series once. It did not leave like a strong impression on me. I was not like, oh, that was really good either. I just was not wild about it in any sense. Barry Windsor Smith. Just look at how icky that looks. I know it's like an eternal gross vampire and he's supposed to look icky. Okay, that is a hell of a page. I don't know. It's just, it was one of the, probably my least favorite of all Ultraverse series. I could not get into it, didn't dig it. Story or art, and the art was one of the primary turnoffs. It is just a turnoff. However, I don't think Barry was with the series the entire time. Also got to appreciate how Malibu puts all of their advertisements, most of them all just in the back. So I think this one is still Windsor Smith. I think this is the last issue that Barry does with the series. And then I think it goes to, I can't remember the artist's name, but it does switch artists, and he's not the artist all the way through it. He's beating up on Prime. Also, it's not really clear if Rune is a good guy or a bad guy. I mean, he's kind of just like an evil god that's constantly changing. All right. This one is, no, this one is thin. Okay, it looks like 7, 8, and 9 are thin. Like, there is not a lot of pages here. It feels thin in the hand. And this is actually pretty, like, thick, decent paper. It's just thin. Like, they made the book, like, thinner. I don't know what the deal is. They're very, very floppy and very, very scrawny. So, I don't know what state they were in at this point. If they were, like, already knew, like, the writing was on the wall and they were going to get bought out by Marvel and it was going to be over. I don't hate the art as much in this one. This one's still pretty thin. Yeah, I'm digging this art a whole lot more. I mean, it's still kind of got some Barry type qualities to it, but it's not that bad. Okay, Tank Girl. This is such a terrible, stupid movie. But it was actually, a lot of it was filmed here in the White Sands, right by town in Alamogordo. So it's just one of those movies. There's been several movies filmed here, and Tank Girl was one of them, just because we have sand dunes. Big sand dune area here in town, White Sands. Yeah, this doesn't look bad at all. Oh, yeah, we have been bought at this point because there's an ad for Marvel Comics. And as soon as you saw those in there, you're like, what's going on? Why are you guys advertising for Marvel? Clearly, at this point, they'd been bought out, and it's no longer a secret, and they're gonna be shut down. And really, it was not long after. Marvel bought the Ultraverse and Malibu in its entirety, and there wasn't much left by the time they got done with it. Boxed up a lot of good characters. and never utilized any of them. I've had this series, this set for, golly, over 20 years. This is the exact same Rune series I've had for ages. And even though I don't like it, definitely not my bag. Because of my love of Ultraverse and because of all that, I have kept them. It's never something I've considered selling because it's, well, they're just part of the Ultraverse, and so I keep my Ultraverse books. Rune, Silver Surfer, Prime vs. Hulk, Elvin, Mantra, Hard Case. Anyway, that's all there is to it. Wow, those are thin. They're just so thin. I don't know what the deal, but holy shnikes, those are thin comics. Like they won't hardly stand like that, and they bounce around in the bag because they are so flimsy. The rest of the books, good and stiff, good and thick. They are, of course, Barry books, but decent quality. So, well, there you go. There is, that's the entire series, all 9 issues of Rune. I think it ran a couple after that, but under Marvel, under a different series, like Volume 2. But I don't think it lasted very long, if it did at all. I know it survived Black September, but I don't know how long. So that's my take, that's my thoughts, and that's my story on these. If you're a big Barry Windsor Smith fan, check these out. If not, don't worry about it. The series isn't that great, but if you do see them and you want them, they're real cheap to buy. So anyway, thanks for watching. Catch you guys later. Bye.